I want to bring in Bonnie Fuller, someone who knows all about this. She's president and editor-in-chief of HollywoodLife.com. She's the former editor-in-chief at Us Weekly, Glamour, Cosmo, and Marie Claire. Bonnie, great to have you on the program. So what do you make of this? Is this is this a good law? And B, do you think the law can actually work?
First of all, I have to say I'm a mother of 4. So I'm very sympathetic to the issue, and of course to having your children frightened in any way by paparazzi or anybody else. On the other hand, I have to agree, the way the law is written, it's so unspecific. It doesn't have anything about keeping paparazzi, a certain distance away from the children. And I think that is probably the most essential thing that needs to be in here if it actually is to be effective. The other thing is, again, it's written in such a general way. It could affect celebrities who are young themselves, who are teen stars. Like, what about Justin Bieber? I mean, he was a star when he was 14, 15 years old.
He could do with a few less pictures. As far as I'm concerned,
but he wanted pictures, but he also could say, hey, the paparazzi are scaring me. And think about politicians, like people who have children and they become celebrities in the limelight for a short period of time.
In politics, there's a general understanding, I think. Well, first of all, politicians aren't chased by paparazzi.
Exactly. TMZ's not running around looking for the kids of politics.
But there's a general understanding that the kids, unless the politician, him or herself, brings the kids into the game,
Bonnie,
that
there's a real market for the pictures of celebrities' kids, right? I mean, no offense, I don't read, your website or these kind of magazines, but obviously there is a huge market for these images, correct?
Not as big as you would think. There is a market, but there's a market primarily for really cute, happy-looking pictures of celebrities with their children. I don't know if anybody who wants to run pictures of scared children. I mean, at Hollywood Life, we run a lot of pictures.
In order to even get the picture of the happy kid, you have to get up close. I mean, you're still trailing these children. You're still trailing the celebrity.
Well, no, not always. First of all, a lot of celebrities really like to have their children on the red carpet with them, and also a lot of celebrities pose with their children. I mean, think about the celebrities who have their own reality shows with their children, like Tori Spelling.
Red carpet is different than playground or nursery school. That's another whole entity, right?
We're talking about a nursery school, and where they're jumping onto the school property and they're running up to the door to get a picture of the kid coming out. To me, that just is a no-brainer.
It's not on the red carpet, I think we're talking about. It's, in some of those magazines, they have those sections like, look, they're just like us. And it's the kid in the shopping mall, or the kid with their parents.
Anderson does read your magazine.
Yes, I did research.
You're right, I know.
I did research for this.
I know, but my point is that the pictures of celebrities and their children looking happy and smiling, and very often posing for the camera, are much more popular than, you see those much more.
But I know people in New York who have kids who paparazzi wait outside their house every day while they take their kid to school, and that is clearly not something the child wants or even the parent wants.
And I think that something actually does need to be done, and whether it be about distance or certain places, because I think some of the saddest pictures you ever see is when the parents have the blanket draped over the kids' faces or over their entire bodies, and I always look at those pictures and think, what kind of life is that for the child to have to go through, to constantly be draped in a blanket?
Can I actually point something out?
Yeah.
Can I point something out? Most of those pictures where there's a blanket draped over, a lot of them are because the celebrity has sold the pictures of the first pictures of the child to a publication.
But isn't a lot of that...
they're covering the child up.
Isn't a lot of that also to kind of demystify, to get the picture out of the child so that then you're not followed, you're not hounded for that first picture? That's
some of the thinking. I also, though, want to just say another thing. And again, I don't think that any child or parent should want to be in a position where they're worried. But even in very high-profile cases or high-profile children like Suri Cruz, there were a lot of pictures when the divorce, like for about 10 days when that divorce was going on, and it was in the news all the time. But then I have to say, I didn't see a picture of Suri for months after that. So it's not in most cases, like an everyday occurrence. It's a once in a while that they will have a picture of that the child will turn out.
I have a question for you. The people, Halle Berry and Jennifer Garner, they're declaring victory. Should they be?
Well, yeah, for right now, they got a law passed. I mean,
But you're
what's
saying
going
the
to
law's
happen
kind
is
of toothless.
well, no, some city attorney, because it's a misdemeanor, some city attorney will file in L.A., and they will be a paparazzi there, and he'll challenge the law, and then my guess is, or my prediction is, some judge will declare it unconstitutional. So that's a ways down. You know, it's going to take
interesting.
away.
I mean, there is a lot of hypocrisy in this because, you know, it's like when Princess Diana died, and I remember covering it from England, and a lot of people coming up at the time to reporters saying, how dare you, you guys hounded her. Not that I ever hounded Princess Diana, but I guess I was representative of something. And it's people who are buying these publications. It's people who are, there is a market for this.
Right. You remember, there was a reason why people were paying for Kim Kardashian's, you know, Nori West picture, and why they, you know, the various publications want it. They're not paying for it, meaning the media is not paying for it, unless it gets ratings or people are buying the magazines. I mean, they do it by clicks. They know who's popular, who's not. I mean, my kids getting photographed are not going to sell anything, but Kim and Kanye or Jay-Z's will. So, you know, the same people who are condemning this are the same people who are buying the magazines or clicking onto the websites.
Or tuning into the reality shows that a lot of the celebrities have in which they feature their own children. And also there's a lot of celebrities that are grooming their children to have great careers too. I mean, look at Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. They had their daughter Willow in a, you know, quite an astounding, but it was, you know, very artistic video, a music video, and whipping her hair, and she was about 13 years old. So I think it's just very difficult. Which celebrities don't want their children photographed? Which do want their children photographed? Which want their children to be stars? Which are starry? You know, which celebrities have reality shows?
But it should be the parents' choice, though. I still think that whether or not that we believe at this table that they're being exploitive in some instances and not in others, or if somebody's in the middle of divorce and they want to be seen with the kid to make someone think that they're being good parents that week or not, that's up to them. That is a parental right. It is my right, you know, as a parent to determine at what point I want to have my child in the public eye and not. And it is no one else's right to sweep in and say, today, because you let the cat out the bottle or whatever, kind of case, it's a mixed metaphor, bag, whatever. Thank you, Mark. That now he or she is fair game, and that I can just take pictures or I can run up to their preschool. That is not okay. That is just not okay, Bunny.
But how's anybody supposed to know which day it is?
I think that you should always
assume
the default position should be privacy of the child. That should be the default position of every publication that is interested in these particular pictures. And if the parent makes that child available, then you use the pictures. And that should be the default position, no other.
Let me just say, I don't know a single person whose kid is named Grape Nuts Flakes or whatever. I don't know anybody like that.
Well, that's because you live in Washington. You got to get out a little bit more. Bonnie Fuller, good to have you on the program. Thank you very much. Up next.